Hey guys, welcome to RexFinance and the first video on this channel. I really want this first video to be a banger and I hope it is. So, chances are, if you're watching this video, you know who Jeremy from Financial Education and Financial Education 2 is. In fact, I'll leave a link to their channel in the description down below for you to check them out so you realize who he actually is. Now, this video is going to be about whether one individual or one investor can actually move a stock price. And the simple answer is yes. Look at Warren Buffett. The man can move an entire stock market. If he comes out on May 2nd releasing his report that says he's buying stocks, guess what? The entire market is going to move up. If he comes out and says he's been holding on and not investing, well, we might see a plateau or even another dip. But Jeremy's on a much smaller scale. He's limited to the 500,000 to 600,000 subscribers that he has. Warren Buffett, everybody in the investing world knows who Warren Buffett is. He's the jack of all trades, the owner of Berkshire Hathaway. He practically bleeds Coca-Cola. Now, this first came into question after Jeremy came out about 4 days ago saying he was throwing $30,000 into Nordic American Tankers stock, ticker symbol NAT. And in fact, if we look at the stock price today, it's up another 18%. Now, the catalyst for this move wasn't Jeremy buying more stock, but it was actually Nordic American Tankers CEO saying that the oil glut has increased their revenue numbers. So, congratulations to everybody who invested in this stock. I don't know how long it will stay propped up or what will happen. Nobody does. That's why you got to do your own due diligence, which will be another topic in this video. As you can see, as soon as Jeremy released that video at market close, after hours trading went crazy. It closed at $5.21 a share on April 22nd, and by the time the markets were opened the next day, stock was worth $5.62. Now, this might not seem like that drastic of a move, but for a stock like this, it really is. So the important question here is whether this was caused by Jeremy. And honestly, it seems like it was. There was no other catalyst after hours for that move on Nordic American Tankers stock. So what's the danger in this? Well, the danger is people aren't doing their own due diligence. And Warren Buffett himself tells people to do due diligence and do their own research, because companies make sense to somebody, but they don't make sense to somebody else. And guess what? If you don't know what the business model is, what the business does, you shouldn't be investing in that company because you don't understand their business model. If a company's vocabulary in their reports doesn't make sense to me, I'm not investing in their company. However, that vocab might make sense to another person, and they might think they want to invest in that company, and that's okay. But everybody needs to know and understand the business models of the companies they're investing in. They can't lose sight of, if they buy, for example, a share of Berkshire Hathaway, you own a fraction of Berkshire Hathaway, the actual company. You're not just buying lottery tickets here. You own companies when you buy shares on the stock market, which is why it's important you understand what the business is. If you own a small business today, you know what the business is doing. You know their business model, how they make their money, all that stuff. You know that stuff. It's no different. This is just a bigger scale. The other danger in this is that you have penny stock advertisers and YouTubers telling you, oh, buy this penny stock now. It's going to increase 3,000% in the first month. And guess what? It probably will increase 3,000% because people on YouTube and social media and the internet don't do their research. They're going to buy into these penny stocks because the people that are pumping these stocks successfully have convinced them they will make money. And that's the danger. These penny stock pumpers buy these penny stocks when they're worth a penny a piece, and they sell them by the time they're worth $1 because they've convinced enough people to buy into that stock. Now, do I think the SEC is going to step in and try and prevent this eventually? I absolutely do. Give it 5 to 10 years as the internet and social media keeps expanding. I bet the SEC is going to step in and make some regulations. There's already regulations for company CEOs. They can't buy and sell shares of their company a few weeks before and a few weeks after they report their earnings. This is to prevent them from making fortunes of money from short selling their stock or even buying their stock at a low price ahead of earnings. Now, this is dangerous, like I mentioned, because you have these penny stock flippers that are pumping these penny stocks and convincing people to invest in them. And boom, the share price increases because they've convinced enough people to buy into the stock. and they're selling at that high. And guess what? You're going to be stuck holding a bag. And holding a bag just means you're holding losses. You're holding losses, and you probably won't ever make that money back, because chances are you're not going to buy right at the bottom where they bought. Chances are you're buying halfway up the chart, all the way at the high, and they're going to sell that. And when they make an announcement they've sold at that high, guess what? The stock's probably going to fall again. So yes, I do think the SEC is going to step in, because this could technically be considered manipulating stock prices, and I think that's the direction this will go. So the lesson here is, everybody do your due diligence, do your own research. If you don't understand certain companies, don't throw your money into them. You own portions of these companies you're investing in. I own a fraction of SiriusXM's company, for example. I own a fraction of Revolve's company, for example. And you might give me a hard time for owning Revolve, but guess what? I did my own research. I didn't just listen to Jeremy. I did my own research, and guess what? I love the business model. I understand the business model. I understand how they make money. I can see where this company is going. So I threw money in. There's nothing wrong with that. But the issue is when people don't do their research, don't understand business models, etc. For example, you could listen to somebody like Jeremy, buy Carnival Corporation when it's worth $40 a share. He's pumping the stock, and guess what? The stock price dipped all the way down to $8. Now, I don't think Carnival's a bad company by any means, but something that happens once in 100 years happened, and the share price absolutely tanked. That's why you need to do your own research. I didn't invest in the company because it wasn't for me. It's not that I didn't understand the company, didn't understand their long-term view, their goals. I understood all of that, but I decided the company wasn't for me, and guess what? I'm glad I didn't throw thousands into that company, because I could have lost money. And this is the challenge. Yes, investors can move markets. Jeremy could move markets. In fact, he moved Nordic American Tankers stock because it's got such a low float and it was a low price, meaning lots of people could afford it, and there aren't that many shares available to be traded. So when you have a large amount of buyers buying in and not too many sellers, all the sellers have already sold because the stock price is so low. The stock price is absolutely going to soar, as you've seen over the past week for Nordic American Tankers. As you can see, it's up 27.44% as of now. So that's pretty much all I had for this video. If you guys have any additional thoughts, leave a comment down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it. And leave a comment for a suggestion on how I can improve the video. I hope you guys have a great day.